Dr. Abigail Dunn, one of the members of IEP, or I Expect Progress. We're interviewing a lovely life coach today. So this is Miss Gloria Robertson. Can you just start off by telling us a little about yourself? How did you get started in life coaching? Where are you from? Just different general things like that.
Okay. Well, my name is Gloria Robertson. So as far as life coaching, this is something new for me. I have a bachelor's degree in exercise science with a minor in sports medicine, and I have a master's degree in public health. So I've always had a love to help people. My niche is children, teenagers, young adults. I love it. Troubled youth. I love troubled youth. And so the reason why I got started in life coaching is because when I was getting my master's in public health, I really loved the mental health aspect of it. And I was already so far into the program, like in my mind, I wanted to be like, you know what, I should have went to school for social work. But I was already so far into the program. I'm 25 now, and I'm just like, I don't want to start all over to get another degree. And so I was talking with my cousin about life coaching. She mentioned that she would like to be a life coach. So we was talking, and we found this lady named Miss Alyssa. Her name is Alyssa Ambassador, and she is the owner of the Life Coach, Say Life Coach Institute. And after talking with her, she was telling me everything about a life coach and everything that life coaches do. And I'm like, I love this because I'm already a life coach to my friends and family. Why not, be certified in it? And so last June is when I decided to enter into her program and become a life coach. Aside from life coaching, I am a mentor. I have my own stomach shape cheer team, and I have a majorette dance team. So mentoring and life coaching, all of that stuff, mental health, as just children, I just do it all. I love it all.
That's amazing. So Miss Gloria, you have a very fascinating background. So in mental health, you went to public health. So it's definitely evident that you really like helping people. And it's so interesting that you mentioned about the children, because that was my question for you. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you specialize with younger adults. We talk about life coaching all the time for older people, like we're stressed out, work is too much, give me a journal, something so that I can get my life together. So how is it different, like your specialization with children, than it is for adults?
With children, you really have to communicate more than you would with adults, because as far as children, you can't sit down and say, okay, we're going to make these goals and we're going to crash these goals and we're going to do this, this, and that. With children, it's definitely going to take more planning. It's definitely, you got to be more patient. You got to be more open-minded, because you never know what you're going to get when it comes to a child. And a lot of times with the children, it's not going to be straight life coaching. You're going to become almost like a non-licensed psychologist. Like a lot of times children go through things that you would not think they go through. I'll be trying to set up goals or be a life coach and then they'll come to me and be like, well, I have something else I want to talk about. I'm going through this and that. Something I want to talk to you about because I can't talk to about it with my parents. So with children being my main focus, it's way more than being a life coach. It's way more than that.
That's beautiful. It just really illustrates how life is all encompassing, even for our really, really young ones, because they do go through a lot. And what I've begun to notice in the school that I'm at this year, they go through so much that it starts to affect everything as far as their relationships with others, how they show up to do their homework, their relationships with their teachers and not wanting to listen. It's just great. So I'm glad that you were doing this, because they really do need it. And I think that population is really overlooked when it comes to things like this. So with that being said, do you believe that life coaching is something that will be appropriate to incorporate into schools?
Definitely. I really do. Having a life coach in the school, it'll definitely help with the kids being more organized, planning ahead. It would definitely help improve study skills. It would definitely help them keep them motivated, confident in what they're doing. It'll help them stay focused. Say, for instance, they have a big project coming up in school and they don't know where to start. As a life coach, it's our job to help them figure out where to start and to crash those small goals, turn that big project into small mini projects, and just crash each small goal at a time until they finish the whole project. And a lot of times the students, they don't know how to study. They don't like doing work. You have trouble with youth who just go to school because they're forced to go to school. And if they don't want to do the work, they're not going to do it. So with the life coach, that's when we come in and we say, you know, although you don't want to go to school, but you know, you have to graduate from high school. So let's take it from here. You have to graduate. You know you have to finish school. Is a law. Your parents are going to get in trouble if you don't go. So let's start here. We're going to make goals. We're going to plan out how we're going to get things done, and we're going to get it done. And so I think it's totally different from having a guidance counselor, because a guidance counselor, they're there, but they're not helping children actually get their work done. And having that life coach in school will definitely help them get their work done, completing their assignments on time. Because, you know, a lot of high school students, they do what they want to do. They don't do none of their assignments on time. So like a life coach, we can definitely help out with that.
I agree. And neither do some elementary and middle school children. So what modalities do you rely on the most? You talked about setting their goals. What about, because you're also a dance instructor. So what about, do you incorporate like goals for fitness or like making sure that they get outside more? So what are some of the modalities that you rely on as a life coach that may be different from some things that you see with adults?
Okay, so as far as the life coach aspect of it, aside from the dance and stuff that I do, we do have the life coach, the institute that I got my certificate from. We learned about this ICF core competency model, and so the first part of the model would be foundation. Build a foundation with your client. You do want to demonstrate ethical practice. You want to show empathy to your clients. You do got to be sensitive to their values. Not everybody comes from the same background. Religious differences, you got to be open to, because you don't know what type of client, you don't know what your client is coming from. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what environment they're used to. You just don't know. And so you do got to be open and willing to accept all type of people. You want to be honest. You want them to trust you. Let them know that this is a safe place. It's confidential. It's not going anywhere. And you want to use their language. As educated people, you know, we might talk in a way that only educated people may understand. So you do got to, I don't want to say you're dumbing down yourself, but you want to be relatable to your clients. So that's definitely something big. You do want to embody a coaching mindset, be open, flexible, client-centered, not self-centered, client-centered, because it's not about you at this moment. It's about your client. You do want to acknowledge what they're going through. Let them know that it's okay that they're going through what they're going through. You know, everybody is not where they want to be in life, but we're going to get you there. And you do want to mentally and emotionally prepare for your sessions, because they're going to be coming and dumping a lot of things on you, and you don't want to take that home. But we could talk about that later, because that's also one of the things that we're going to be talking about. You also want to co-create the relationship, establish and maintain agreements. That's when you establish your plans, your goals. You do want to, like I said before, cultivate the trust, the safety, respect them. They'll respect you, respect them, maintain presence, stay focused, observe, watch their body language, because they may be coming off as very happy, but you can look at their body language and say, what they're saying to me is not really how they're feeling. You want to be responsive. Don't just sit there and stare at their face while they're talking to you. And say something. Let them know that you care them. You want to communicate effectively and freely. Listen actively listen, be aware, and ask them to share more. And when I say actively listen, I could be telling you something and you might take it as something else. So say, for instance, you tell me a story, and instead of saying what you're telling me is, we want to say, are you telling me, or what I think I'm hearing is, can you clarify that for me? So they can say, okay, she's listening to me. She may not understand everything that I said, but she got the grips of everything I said. I just got to clarify this with her. She's not telling me how I'm feeling, but she's listening to me and trying to grasp everything that I'm saying, if that makes sense. Okay, and then the last thing of that core competency thing I was talking about was cultivating and learning. You definitely want to celebrate the client's progress. And then you want to facilitate their growth. So like I said before, taking that big project and turning it into very small projects and knocking the small projects out the way to get to the big project. Celebrate every small progress so that by the time they're going to complete all these small projects, and then by the time they finish all the small projects, they're done with the big ones. So each thing that they knock off their list is still something to celebrate. And so we do want to show them that it's not, you didn't do a lot, but you did enough. And then as far as the dance, definitely you have to have a lot of patience. We do go outside. We start our practice outside. We have breaks because attention span is not the same as an adult. So you do have to have a lot of breaks. Allow them to ask all the questions they can ask, because even though it's going to be the same thing over and over again, just let them talk, because they're going to keep trying to talk to you until you let them. But yeah, I pretty much use the same thing as I would do for any other client. I use the same thing with my dance team.
I love this because, oh my gosh, it just gives me so many great ideas for next school year, like the idea of having an agreement. You mentioned that. So would you say that life coaching is something that's really individual, or do you have group sessions too? For the
group sessions are definitely, yes, group sessions. Just listening to other people. Say, for instance, we're talking about, say we're in one of our group sessions, we're celebrating success. Just hearing about me personally, if I was a part of a group session, being able to hear somebody else's success is going to motivate me. So that's one thing that I really love about the group aspect, like accountability partners. We're all there for each other and we're watching each other's success. I always like to tell people, don't compare yourself to them. Yes, they did this, but what did you do today? You also did something well. It might not be as big. It might not be big to them, to you, but it's big. Like, don't ever try to say that what you're going through is smaller or bigger than what somebody else is going through, because everybody's different. So you may have accomplished something smaller than that person, but you still accomplished something. So let's celebrate that.
I love it. And that's like a positive feedback system too. It really helps people with their self-esteem, because that's a lot of what we're dealing with in the school system. I have children all the time telling me like, I can't read. And it's like, where did you get that negative self-talk from? So this seems like it really combats that, which is wonderful. So what about stressed out teachers? What modalities do you have for us? For me, I am that person.
Okay. Definitely use breathing techniques. They help. If you find yourself in a moment where you can't handle it, take a time to relax. Become present with yourself. One exercise that I really like is when I personally feel down or I feel stressed out, become present with yourself. Look around the room, and right now I see my computer. Okay, so I see my computer. I have a gray background on my computer screen. I see a letter with black words, and become present with yourself. A lot of times that has stopped me from having an emotional breakdown. It might sound stupid, but it really works. Also journaling. I like journaling before I go to bed, because everything that's in my head, I want to get it out. So you write in your journal and always end with something positive. You might be feeling, say, I'm stressed out. My kids did this, and that today, but I'll be fine. I'm okay. God has me. I don't know everybody's religious purposes, but that's just me. Like, end it with something positive. May end it with a prayer or something like that. Exercising definitely helps release stress. Therapy. I'm an advocate for therapy. I'm definitely an advocate for therapy. People might think you're dumb or crazy for going to therapy, but you're not. You're not. And quiet time. I know you have a child, so you might not always get that quiet time. Oh, you don't have any children? Oh, you're a teacher, so you're in school right now. Okay, so that's who you were pointing to. I thought you were pointing to your own child. Okay, okay, so I got you. Okay, so like you may not be able to have that quiet time while you're at work. When you go home, when you get in your car, just sit down and just have that quiet time, relax, and just do those breathing techniques, write in your journal, become present with yourself, and try to release all of that before you even get home, because you don't want to take out that stress and anger on other people. So you want to release it before you go around those loved ones, because it's not their fault you're feeling the way you're feeling. So, yeah.
This is all so amazing. I feel like I say this all the time, but I really mean it. Like, what you're doing really does make the world a better place, because if people deal with their anger better, just kind of like go within more, we would have a lot less issues. Because what you mentioned before, not comparing yourself to other people, that's huge. And I think it comes up a lot, especially around the middle school age, where, oh, this person's so much taller than me, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, just finish your reading, please, sir. So, but at the same time, they really are feeling that. So it's important, and like what you're doing is definitely acknowledging that, but going beyond as to why, and just kind of letting it go. So I really like that. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yes, there's a quote that I share with all my clients. I do want to give my dad his credit. My dad is the head football coach at a high school here in Norfolk, Virginia. And one thing that he tells all his athletes, and I'm going to tell all my dancers and all my clients, is a quote. And this is how it goes: is when you feel that everything is perfect and nothing can go wrong, fight hard. When you feel that everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, never give up. Fight so you can't fight anymore.
I love that. That is beautiful. So where can we find you? We want to sign people up for life coaching.
My Instagram name is Life Coach Chloe.
Okay.
My business is called Mind Over Matter Life Coaching. So if you type that into Instagram, I should pop up.
Okay.
But yeah, I am Life Coach Chloe on Instagram.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Life Coach Chloe on Instagram. And you can type in Mind Over Matter Life Coaching on Facebook, but there's a lot of Mind Over Matter type things on Facebook, so it's hard to find. But my logo is purple and blue, so yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. This was amazing. I definitely learned a lot more about life coaching than I ever knew, because I honestly didn't know if people specialize in life coaching for children, but I'm glad that they do. And it's something that I would like to mention to my admin and things, because we're going through transitional time, everything's changing, and I think they'd really benefit for something like this. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, everyone. So that is the end of our segment for today. Make sure you subscribe to our wonderful channel and reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Bye.